Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the next Ultra Beast here, which is newly available for the Open Great League. It's going to be Stakataka. This Pokemon is the same typing as Bastion. It has a worse fast move, it has one same charge move, and it has a worse other charge move, and it has worse stats. So what can this Pokemon really do? Quite a lot apparently. I actually went on an 8-2 game win streak with this team here, which is quite ridiculous. And also thanks for the support on the video earlier on. We already made a video about Placephalon, definitely going to be linked in the end card for this video, so just stay until then. And also feel free to leave a like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. It is free and it helps me out. But let's go right into the team, the battles. And for whatever reason this team worked, I have literally no clue, but also I hit expert with this team, which is quite ridiculous if you can think about it. Yeah, I went 8-2 with it, 2 times 4-1 sets, and yeah, we're gonna take a look at this here today. We're gonna have the Goodra against us here, which is going to be great for us because we can just go ahead and go for one Icy Wind, use a shield, farm them down, have Icy Wind against whatever they have in the bag. And honestly, normal Poliwrath is my favorite Pokemon so far in this cup. I like it more than the Shadow variant. Normal Poliwrath just has the bulk to it. You can debuff the opponent, then you have even more bulk. And look at this, the opponent decides to forfeit in the first battle. What I have to say is I definitely had quite a lot of good leads for us, which I guess is not even that ridiculous if you think about it, because Carbink, one of the most common leads. Mantine, one of the most common leads. Alolan Ninetales, one of the most common leads. Nobody expects, of course, a Stakataka. Also, Flash Cannon does quite a lot of damage, I would say here. But the opponent going to have a Superior in the bag, which is a little bit of an awkward Pokemon to deal with, because we still have a Water type in the bag. I decided to use a Shield here on the Frenzy Plant with our Shadow variant of the Sableye, which you can also use the normal variant. Shadow variant is a little bit cooler if you want to bait out Carbink. The thing is, I had a different Pokemon in the back, which I forgot which it was now, but it was definitely weak to Carbink, and so I was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense to have Sableye there. I just kind of changed it last second to the Poliwrath. Poliwrath, for sure, the better Pokemon to use though. Very cool team though. Like, if you want to build this team as well with something different than the Stakataka in the lead, go for Probopass. Go for, I think there was a different one, Aggron. Like, they're going to be better than Stakataka very likely, but like the team idea itself is still the same, and the team itself is still going to work out. And also, look at this battle here, Stakataka against the Shadow Victory Bell. We are just the better toxic Pokemon. Goodbye there. Next opponent. I know that this opponent is a very good player, and we're going to have a great lead here as they're going to swap onto the Poliwrath. And this is like the one awkward thing about this team. Poliwrath mirror matchups, basically. Like, if people are swapping in the Poliwrath against you, you don't really have a great choice. Like, even the Sableye is not going to have a great time because all the charge moves are going to be resisted. And so here we were able to get the debuff, we were able to also got the Scald off them. And so I will be able to use a shield, align myself, get still some energy, still should be able to go for a Scald against the Ninetales, which is coming in next. And I can align my Stakataka against whatever, like, also like my Sableye against whatever they have in the back, but I Stakataka against the Charm user because Sableye does not appreciate it. That's at least what I was thinking, but I actually decided to go into my Shadow Sableye here because it was very clear that the opponent would swap out straight away, and like this I can even try to catch a move if I want to, stuff like this. Everything should be kinda okay here, and I just try to get down this Gligar. Of course Gligar can one-shot our Stakataka, but can it really do enough here? Let's find out. Dig is going to knock us out, but now we kinda have to call it. Call the bait. If they don't call the bait here, it is going to be a tough one. I decide to let the move go through. It's the Aerial Ace, and with this, we're going to be able to use a shield here, and we're hopefully going to be fine. But it's not actually over yet. Why? Because that Ninetales still has some HP left, but we can perfectly farm them down and win the battle. Honestly, as I said before, we had quite a lot of decent leads. Goodra I would actually not even consider as a good lead. Like, Goodra is kind of a neutral one, I would say, because Awkward Heal is super effective and Dragon Breath is still actually chunking, because while we are a wall, while we have a very okay-ish decent defensive typing, at least like from like Rock and Steel type Pokemon, you would imagine that they're quite solid. We actually are taking quite a lot of damage here. It's not as bulky as it might seem, which is just kind of on the way of how bulk kind of translates in Pokemon Go, and some Pokemon just kind of got screwed over by the formula that Pokemon Go uses for it. Anyway, we're going to be able to let the next move go through here as well. It is going to be a Scald. This is going to get the debuff onto us. Goodra is coming back in. We can debuff them as well. try to swap out most likely to the Stakataka next, which is going to hopefully help us out still. It's going to be a tough battle to win. Like, this is going to be very tricky to still have a chance against the opponent. We can use the shield onto that awkward tail, and we should be able to go for the full farm down and reach a Stone Edge in time here as well against whatever they want to bring in. It's going to be the Poliwrath. We are forced to go for a charge move kind of straight away here, as they're going to be able to farm it down. And now it's down to my own Poliwrath. If we can win this battle, what do they have in the bag? It is going to be a Toxapex, and that's going to be sadly a loss. Next opponent, we're going to have Sableye in the lead. That's going to be a very neutral matchup, but I kind of want to swap out eventually, and I kind of want to swap out before they would be able to forward speed me. Basically, if you swap out, you're always going to lose one turn anyway. So staying in the lead there for a little bit, like for 4 turns or something, going to always still allow you to get to your charge move before the opponent gets to 2 charge moves, which is kind of important to do. Here I make a little bit of a mistake, most likely by going for the foul play. The opponent actually decides to let the move go through. If I went for the power gem, I would have been able to align myself, but like this, I'm still going to be able to get a shield very likely, but they can farm me all the way down, which is going to be quite an awkward day. I still should be able to completely resist every charge move from them on my Poliwrath though, because water and fighting typing should cover up for Crunch and Awkward Tail. Unless they're running the Sludge Bomb, we should be kind of fine, and they're going for double Crunch, so no Sludge Bomb on their part. And so, we're gonna see in the back a Charizard. I can swap out straight away, but this game is still kind of tricky. I decided to go for a Stone Edge, and at this point, I was thinking, I still should have quite a lot of energy on my Poliwrath. And so, my win con now is actually to just either farm them down here or farm down later on the Sableye. And so we try to get them a little bit lower here with our fast move of Rock Throw. And so the opponent is going to go for the foul play, and I can counter them down now. 1 more fast move to go for the Scald, and they should need like 2 more for their own charge move. And so, yes, we're going to be able to just go for the Scald. This should be enough to knock them out. Super effective against the Shadow Charizard, and that's going to be a good game. Also, this is going to be our first set, done over that one, and we can move on to the next one. Next opponent, we're going to have a Mantini in the lead, which is of course again a very favorable lead for us. As said before, yes, we won a lot of leads, but also like the leads they face were like the Pokemon they usually face in the lead as well. So it's not down to me always being lucky. Of course, it is kind of lucky to win a lot of leads here for sure, but I think just people don't expect like a Rock-type Pokemon in the lead, and that's basically mainly why people are not running anything to cover up with that. So yeah, maybe even something like Auroras would be a cool Pokemon for this team in the lead. But here we'll see the Gligar, and I should be able to fully farm them down before they can go for another dig. This should be just an aerial ace, and we should leave this matchup with basically a 100 energy on our Shadow Sableye, which is going to do quite a lot, hopefully. As they swap out into the Mantine, we can still go for a Power Gem, which is doing super effective damage, going to connect here as we see the swap out straight away into the Poliwrath, and we can get some damage onto them. And this damage is going to be huge, because now we can go into our own Poliwrath, and we can just go for the Icy Wind spam. We are not going to win the Thimpita here, which is totally fine, but we are going to be able to take that Icy Wind, or the Scald from the opponent. They're actually going to get the debuff here as well, and I should be able to get the shield from them. We should get them kind of low, they do less damage against us, and I think we're going to be in a great spot, and I can even go for another Icy Wind. But I don't want to give the opponent more farm, so I decide to completely undercharge it here, and they're going to have exactly 1 HP left and go for their own charge move, which is super happy for me, because now I can go ahead and go into my Stakataka. They're going to swap out here, I can swap out even as well, and Sableye is just going to be able to finish up this battle. Next opponent, one of my shark friends from the faction team there, we're going to see the Carping in the lead. That's going to be a great one for us. But other than last time here, I'm actually going to decide to go for the Stone Edge instead over the Flash Cannon, because I feel like Stone Edge is going to already do quite a lot of damage here. As we see, the opponent is quite low already. We double resist the fast move, no, we single resist the fast move from the opponent here, while ours is going to be neutral, but they're still going to do quite a lot of damage, and I still decide to use a shield here, because if shields are down, we should be kind of in a better spot with something like the Shadow Sableye. And so I can go for another charge move, I can swap out if they use a shield here as well, and they decide to use a shield, and so I can swap out into my Sableye. We're gonna get out the Victory Bell, we can easily knock them out before they can go for another charge move here. We can just go for the foul play, and the Shadow Sableye is going to take the knockout quite fast here, as they're gonna go into a Superior. And here I had to think for a little bit if I want to let the move go through or not, because here it is a little bit of a trickier matchup if I want to keep the shield for my water type or not. And yeah, Icy Wind, I was just hoping that Icy Wind would be enough. I was thinking already, because we're not Shadow, it's very likely not going to be enough. And so it comes down to me catching a move. And I will go up basically in terms of fast moves towards where it would be for the Frenzy Plant, and I was correct with that. We were able to catch the move here. 1 HP superior, I don't really care too much about it. We can knock out that Carbing as well straight away afterwards, and we're going to be able to win this battle again. What a day. Like, honestly, this team works out so well for whatever reason. Like, it's supposed to be spicy, man. Deoxys is going to be a tough battle for us. Like, that's basically impossible to win. Like, that's going to be a core breaker. It is just kind of like, I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do here? I don't really know. But I'm still gonna try my best. Maybe you can still come back from this. Let's find out. We're gonna get the attack drop here, which is already quite lovely, isn't it? I actually decided to use a shield, which in hindsight maybe I should have not done, because I was thinking they're very likely just gonna go ahead and go for their Psycho Boost there, but they decided to go for the Psycho Boost now, and that is going to be fine. But we can now decide to go ahead and go into that Icy Wind against the opponent's Mandibus. That's fine. We can just try to get a lot of energy here. I want to keep the energy. The opponent goes for a charge move. It does not knock me out. Like, there's no way that an aerial ace debuff going to knock me out here. I can even overfarm by a little bit more, get some more energy. And look at this. We're going to have a Stakataka here again. And this boy is going to love this matchup. Look at that Dark Pulse. It's debuffed. It still actually does quite a lot of damage. Can I showcase again that Stakataka, while it looks bulky, is not actually that bulky. But as we will see as well, Dark Pulse is not going to two-shot us, and so we can farm them down, we can go for a Stone Edge, and with this, Deoxys is going to be in a spot where it might not really want to be, because we're still going to have that Sableye in the back, and we have a ton of energy on our own Poliwrath, and so, in the back, is going to be the Carbink. We are forced to go for the Power Gem. Is it going to put them into a range where I can still do something here? Let's find out. We can swap out, and it is going to be an Icy Wind coming through next. This is gonna get the shield from the opponent. Can we still reach a Scald in time? We can, and so we can win the battle here, right? This should be able to knock them out. It's super effective with stab, and it barely does not do enough. And with this, while we got the double debuff onto the opponent, Moonblast is going to not knock me out, but it's gonna get us way too low, and so we're sadly going to lose this battle. But what a day. Carbing is quite broken, isn't it? Look at this lovely lead, and look at the swap again. I don't like the swap, but I can still deal with it. The thing is, I should be able to win a zero shot scenario with our Sableye, because we outspeed the opponent and do quite a lot of pressure with the Shadow Claw plus foul play. But as you can see here, the opponent gonna decide to go for the Icy Wind, which is lovely. Like, that's when they go for the CMP type, it's usually the Icy Wind. And so I can go for another foul play. This is going to get some nice damage onto them, and even if they're going to go for the full farm down, like, the charge moves are going to go up against a water type, and it's all going to be resisted, so we should be in a very solid spot here. Let's see what they're going to do. We are going to let the move go through. It is going to be that Icy Wind coming through here, and we can go for the full farm down as we can try to swap out here. Stakataka coming in. In comes a Swampert, and that is basically impossible to be winning. Like, there's no way of winning this battle unless Stone Edge is going to take a little bit, and the opponent just disconnected. Like, there's nothing really I can talk about. Yeah, it is most likely going to be a loss usually. I don't actually still know, I think, if it's Charm or not on the Ninetales. I don't think so. Maybe I know. I don't know. But yeah, like, it is kind of unfortunate, of course, for the opponent here. But I will take the win. It is what it is. You can move on to the final battle of today. Against a regional winner, that is quite an interesting one, especially having a very horrible lead here of Gligar. I decided to swap out, decided to catch a dig, which is not going to happen here because it's going to be an aerial ace, and so we can still get some nice damage onto them. And with this, kinda one of the hardest answers to Stakataka is already in the red health, and I can still get some nice energy and maybe even force the knockout. So let's see. We can go for a charge move here. This is going to force the first shield from the opponent as we're going to use our final one. And I think I should be able to fully farm them down at this point. And so we're going to be in a great spot. They go into the Poliwrath, and again, this is actually quite lovely for me. I actually quite like this one, because like this, I can just swap out into my own Poliwrath and go for the full farm down. I don't think they're going to be able to reach 2 charge moves in time, even if they're going to get the debuff here with a Scald. They do not get the debuff, and so I should be able to go for the full farm down, and I can. And so let's see what is coming in next. It is going to be, we will see soon. It's going to be the Gligar again. I'm forced to go for a charge move, but we have to see what they're going to have in the back. Hopefully a Pokemon that I can deal with. It is going to be the Frostlass, and I can go for a Scald. Hopefully you're gonna get the debuff here. Debuff would be so great for me. Let's see, Scald coming through, and we're gonna get no debuff. But it's down to the Stakataka. Can we farm them down? I want to catch the move, but I couldn't. And so can we still farm them down in time? Yes, we can. And this is going to be it. This was the final set that I did with this team here as well. And I got an 8-2 run with this team. Didn't do any other games that you didn't see here. That was all I did. And look at this. We were able to hit expert. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like. And I'll see you then and check out the Lostheart video. Bye bye.